Hey, YouTube, Prof Sales coming at you with a 5,000 Jeans update. Today is day 63. I gotta think about that for a second. 63 of the challenge. So moving right along with this challenge. Day 63. I gotta think about that for a second. 63 of the challenge. So let me mute myself here. So how is everyone doing today? It is Monday, September 19th. Hang on one second. I just need to find my... Oh, there it is. To find my charger for my Mac. So I hope everybody is having a great Monday. And thought I would share with you guys a sales update. So if you're in the room and you get a chance, say hello. And of course, if you're watching this later, make sure to leave comments and questions. Definitely like to hear from everybody. And I try to answer all of them as best I can. So let's, we'll give the room a minute to fill up and see who's here. All right, so today is day 63. So I guess I'm about what is that, 63, 1/6 of the way in to the challenge. Still, my goal is to try to hit this total within a year. I think that's reasonable to do. I still think that's reasonable to do. So I guess I can kind of, track my progress that way and just see, what percentage of a year I'm in and then how far along I am. And I guess I'm right on track. 63 days. Yeah, it's about 1/6 of a year. And so I would need to be around about 800. I'm a little short of that, but after today, I should be at 800, which will be great. So I guess I'm kind of right on track. Let me see. Yep, 714. Maybe a little below that. I do have some other listings on eBay that are not jeans, and I'm not going to delist those so that I can list more jeans. I'm just going to try to sell them. Hopefully those items will sell as well, and they can create room for the jeans listings. And if eBay is any like it's been in the past, they will probably up my listing somewhere in this process, somewhere down the road. I don't know exactly when. Hey, Philip, see you in the room there. How are you, sir? Hopefully you are doing well. And as always, too, guys, let us know what your sales are like, either in the chat box if you're watching this live or even if you're watching later. Share with us how your sales are going. Share with us any particular problems that you're having, issues, and we'll do our best as a community, because it's not just me. We'll do our best as a community to help you out. So hang on one second. So Thrift School is in the house. What's up, Thrift? Thrift says his sales have been garbage in all caps. Tell us how you really feel, Thrift. Yeah, that actually has been my experience too. Until yesterday, the weekend was pretty slow, and even the last few days have been. Don't really know why. I've seen, this is the trouble, guys. I mean, if you go on the reseller groups, the Facebook groups and so on, and you see people who say, hey, sales are slow, and say it's 10 people saying that, well, you can come away with the impression that everyone's sales are slow. But the problem is that the only people who are pretty much going to come onto a Facebook group and talk about their sales usually are people who complain and people who have slow sales. They're not going to be, the people killing it aren't going to necessarily come on and defend the sales. So you don't really know how it is for everyone. But you just got to keep plugging away at it and not get too caught up in one day or even 1 week. I wouldn't get too crazy about it. It'll drive you nuts trying to figure it out. And then you'll have days where you sell like crazy. I was looking, Thrift says, everyone I talk to says the same, but I need to list more. And Leisure says sales have been good, better every year, improvements you see long-term. Leisure, I'm so glad you brought that up, because here's something you guys can do in the chat, or whether you're watching this afterwards. Here's what you can do. If you've got the new Seller Hub on eBay, go in and click on the Sales tab, and then go back and start your comparison there to the first of the month last year. And I did that today, and I'm just going to share with you guys what that looked like. Let me see if I can get to it. I can move this window for a second. I did that today, and because I had the same problem you guys were saying, like, oh, the sales are crappy and blah blah blah, and mine were down a little bit too, it seemed like. So what I did is I went into the Seller Hub, I clicked on the Sales tab, and I'm going to do it right now and let you guys know. And I compared my sales to September 1st, 2015, ending with today. And let's see, it should end. Oops, hold on. Excuse me, I've got the wrong total. So you started with this month, you start with September 1st, 2016, and then compare it to September 1st of 2015. So you'll need to change your benchmark start date. My mistake, I missaid that earlier. So go in and change the benchmark start to September 1st of 2015. And my sales guys are up 108% over last year at this time, from September 1st of 2015 through September 19th of 2015. My sales are up 108%. So I'm double. I mean, what are we really complaining about here? I mean, clearly that's not going to be the case for everybody, but you can't expect your sales to be doubling and tripling and quadrupling every month over month. It's just not going to work that way. I mean, that's just not how it goes being a business. Business is sometimes going to have a quick ramp up period and experience really quick growth. But then after a while, it's going to slow down because you can't keep doubling and tripling yourself like that. Mathematically, it becomes impossible. You just don't have enough resources, because what happens is you run out of resources, whether it be time, whether it be extra people to help you with your business, whether it be sourcing. You just cannot sustain that kind of growth month over month, year after year. It's not, I mean, you can do it for a while, but you can't do it forever. So, I don't know what your goals are, what you consider an acceptable rate of growth. But for me, if I'm growing 10% a month, I'm really happy. I mean, to me, that's a good total. 10% a month is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, that's a good amount. 10% a month is really high growth. So if you did $1,000 this month and you do $1,100 next month, that's 10%. That's good. And then you have to ask yourself, I don't know what your goal is, but if your goal is, say, 10%, ask yourself, did I source 10% more items this month? Did I take 10% more photos? Did I list 10% more items? Did I spend enough time on my business to make good decisions in terms of repricing and things like that? Chances are you probably didn't. I mean, we all want our sales to kind of increase, but we also like it when our business sort of runs on automatic and we wake up and all of a sudden there's a ton of orders there to process and you're going, yes. But a lot of times, do you even know why it happened? You having that good day or even that increase, it happened from things you did, deposits you made in your business sometimes months ago. And you're just now seeing the results of your efforts come to fruition. So don't get all bummed out just because your results maybe aren't as great as you thought. I mean, look at your processes, look at what you're doing to increase your business, not blaming eBay or blaming rolling blackouts for all this nonsense. I mean, that doesn't really do any good, even if you blame them. What good does it do? What good does it sit around? What good does it do to sit around and talk about, well, eBay has blackouts and something's wrong with their site? Okay, well, all right, let's assume that's true. So what? So what? What are you going to do? Are you going to stop selling on a platform because sometimes they have technical issues? Because I got news for you. There is no platform that doesn't have technical issues. You could have your own website and you can run into technical issues. So I don't think that's really a good excuse. I mean, excuses really aren't useful anyway, but that's definitely not a good excuse for your sales. I mean, look at what you can do. I mean, if your sales are slow, that gives you an opportunity to do other things in your business that maybe you haven't been doing that could be helpful in the long run. Maybe some things you've been putting off or just didn't have the time for. You know, it's all about constantly analyzing what you're doing and what you're not doing and making adjustments. You know, so I'm not really concerned about it too much. I mean, would I love to see my results just go up, 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 up? Of course, who wouldn't? But that's not the way it works. It's just not the way it works in any business, much less reselling. So I'm not going to get too excited about it if my results are not quite as great as I thought they should be. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I thought it was worth talking about. Leisure Picker says 10% a month is excellent. Yeah, you know, I think so, Leisure. I mean, there's nothing magic about 10% a month. As you get bigger, that may be tougher to do because you're going to run into time constraints. You're going to run into maybe your sourcing budget. You know, if you have 100 items listed, let's say, and you want to get up to 110 items, that's 10 items. I mean, it doesn't take that long to list 10 items. Even if they're really involved and require a lot of pictures, they're still not going to take that long to list 10 more items, right? On the other hand, if you have 1,000 items and you want to increase your listings by 10%, that's 100 items. That takes a little bit of time. So you've got to plan for that and think about that. That's the reason. Now imagine you had 10,000 items and you wanted to increase to 11,000. That's 1,000 more items to list. Even if you do 30 a day, you're still not quite there. 30 a day extra. And remember, you're going to be selling items, so your listings are always going to be dropping while, you know, your total list is always going to be dropping as you sell while you're trying to list more than you're selling. So, you know, just think about scale like that. I mean, it's easier to scale up a small business than it is a medium-sized or large business. Just mathematically speaking, you only have so much time and energy and resources to put into it. So always keep that in mind. As you grow larger with your business, if that's your goal, it's going to be harder in some ways to grow even larger. Not that it can't be done. It's just going to, I shouldn't say harder. It's just going to take longer. It takes longer in a lot of ways because unless you start bringing in other bodies, you know, we know eBay is a somewhat manually intensive platform to sell on. So if you want to grow it from $1,000 to a $2,000 a month business to a $5,000 to a $10,000, you can do it, but you're really going to have to put in the time and energy and so on. And eventually you're going to run into a spot where you just don't have enough time and energy to do it. And that's where you got to start making some tough decisions about maybe what you're selling, maybe bringing someone else in to help, you know, who knows. So, okay, so we got 14 people watching. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. Mark is in the room. What's up, Mark? How you doing there, sir? Hopefully well. So we will go to the results here in just a moment. Leisure says, I say, don't love eBay, love the ability the platform provides. Oh, that's a great way to look at it. I see some people, they love eBay. It will disappoint you. I say that at the same time, I only use it exclusively. Yeah, love's a strong word. It's just a means for you to deliver your products and to get paid. I mean, that's all eBay is. It's not, it's a great point, Leisure. eBay is not an entity in and of itself. It's just a means for you to list your items, sell your items, get paid, and facilitate the transaction. You know, you could do everything that eBay does on your own site. You can do it on other sites, Bonanza, Mercari, what have you. So, okay. Mark says, that's hard with a full-time job. I'm selling like 10 at 5 a day. Yeah, that's exactly right, Mark. And now think about that, Mark. If you want to increase, so Mark brings up his own personal example. Say, Mark, you wanted to increase your listings by 100. You want to have 100 more listings at month end, let's say, and you had a 30-day month. So if you're selling 5 a day, you've got to add, you're selling 150 a month, 5 times 30. And if you want to add 100, you've got to list that 150 plus another 100. That's 250 items you're going to have to buy and list in a 30-day period to add 100 listings, which is less than 10 a day, and it's definitely doable. But that's why you got to think about how to scale this. You've always got to think about, well, it's not just listing more, it's also listing more than I'm selling. So that gets tricky. Hey, Sarah, what's up? How are you? Good to see you in the room. Welcome to the room. All right, guys. Well, we will, I'm going to go to my results here, I believe. And if you wouldn't mind too, if you're watching, you like the content, please hit the like button. If you're watching this later, please hit the like button as well. I appreciate it. It shows me and YouTube that I'm doing a good job. And I do appreciate it. So let's see if I can get my spreadsheet up. All right, let me pull this up. All right. A little tricky. Okay. I'm going to do a screen share, and it's not coming up. All right, come on. Still learning this new Mac, guys, and I love it, but it's definitely got a few little quirks you got to get used to coming from a Windows environment. All right. All right, so let's see. We are. I think I gave you guys a update. There's Saturday's results. Only 3 on the day. Ties in with the slow sales, I guess, that a lot of people reporting. We did get a lot of pictures that day, 36, and I got 12 listed, which was good. Or I guess actually that was Friday, now that I think about it, not Saturday. Saturday was also slow. No real explanation. We got 37 photos done. We get 24 listed, so 36 listings for only $30.50. This pair of jeans actually went to Russia. So it was a Marith Francois Girbaud pair. Nice sale. The next day is kind of when I saw the benefit of those listings maybe. 7 sold for $174, so that's a good day. So pretty happy about that. You know, decent profit on that. So let's look at the graphs. Give me just a moment. Oh, here we go. Oh, excuse me, jeans by month. Let me go to that first. All right, guys, so there's September. Averaging 683 listings, so definitely making some progress on last month. Look at last month was just under 600. This month is close to 700, and that's not even counting what I'm adding today. I've already done 12 today, and got plans to do maybe another 24. That's kind of my goal. Karen set me up with, oh, I don't know. She left me probably 50, 60 photos. So I've got some to list for the next couple days, and so that's good. Sales are $24.40 with a net of just right at $1,000. That net margin is holding at 41%. Net per jean, $9.96, also holding around that total. Since we've started, $67.31 with a $26.76 net in just about 2 months. So about $1,200–1,300 over the last 60 days net profit. Not huge numbers by any stretch of the imagination, but hey, we're just getting started. I look at it like when I have triple this number of listings up, I should have triple the sales, right? Which will be great. You know, $3,600 a month is starting to get some decent income. So anyway, all right, and I will stop with that. And the last one is the graphs. See if I can get those to come up. And we will go to the screen share. All right, you can see my listings up. Nice little pop there right at the end over the last few days. Sell-through is still slightly trending up. We're pushing that 0.8%. Not there yet. Curious to see how it's going to go. Again, I'm listing a good amount, so this is always going to be pressure on it to drop because sell-through is the number sold divided by the number listed. So as that denominator grows, sell-through is going to drop. But I'm still pretty happy with that considering how many I've been listing over the last 2 or 3 weeks. You can see some great days here, like 30. So I'll have today's in there later, and so we'll see. That'll be up in probably around 36 or so. I'm going to make it a big day. Sold and listed are tracking right with each other, guys. There's your relationship. Now, we only got 60-some days of results, so I'm not going to go crazy about this and say it's statistically that meaningful. But, you know, common sense tells you as you list more, you're going to sell more. You know, are you going to sell it in a strict one-to-one relationship? No. You might list 10 and only sell 1 more. But I think overall, I'll be very surprised if this kind of the trend line, I think, is going to kind of stay these two trend lines are going to be very similar to each other over time. It'll be interesting to see what they are in, say, 6 months from now. And you guys will be here and we'll check it out and we'll do a video then. We'll say, hey, remember 6 months ago we were talking about the trend lines? So anyway, all right. So that is my results so far. So hopefully that was, you guys all could see that okay. All right. Let's see who is in the chat and what are they saying. Rebecca Knight. How are you doing, Rebecca? Says, Nicole State says she has her listings go live based on a report that shows peak hours in her store. Do you know what report or chart that would be? I do not know. It's interesting you asked about that because Nicole and I have been emailing behind the scenes, and I am supposed to go on and she does a podcast where she does interviews of people who resell full-time. And I'm supposed to shoot that interview or do that interview with her sometime soon for a broadcast date in October. So when I talk to her about that, I'll try to remember to ask her about that and just kind of see what that is. I'm not, you know, I don't know. The whole peak hours thing, I mean, to me, it's like trying to time the stock market. I mean, there's been lots of research done that shows if you're out of the stock market, whether you want to invest or not is not up. I'm not talking about that point. But let's say your goal is to invest in the stock market and make money. If you're out of the market just a handful of days over a given 10-year or 20-year period, you would have lost the vast majority of the returns or not suffered the vast majority of the losses. So the trick then becomes, well, how do you figure out when those times are coming? Well, lots of people say they can, but reality is no one can say for sure what the market's going to do over a given span of time. Or, you know, it consistently fools people who are very smart and very educated about investing. I think eBay is kind of like that too. You can't say for sure, well, I'm going to list all my listings and have them end at a certain period. You can't say for sure that that's when they're going to end and that's going to help your sales. And the problem is, I mean, Nicole does a lot of volume, don't get me wrong. But in the big scheme of eBay listings, she's a tiny, tiny fraction of all the transactions. And statistic-wise, it probably doesn't matter. So here's the problem. You start going off of this number that you think is legitimate and is reflective of your sales, but it mathematically doesn't really mean anything. It's just variance. It's like saying you flip a coin 5 times and get 4 heads and 1 tails, and you think the coin is rigged, so you would start betting money on it becoming heads on the next flip. It doesn't matter. It's still got an equal probability of heads or tails on the next flip. It doesn't have a memory. And even though reselling, I guess you could say, well, there's a trend and you can follow that. You can to a degree. I just think you have to be careful about making too much out of your own results, especially when it's such a small sample. If you had access to all of eBay's data, that would be different. You could make some inferences from that for sure, no doubt about it. But when it's just your own store and your own products, I don't know, guys. I would be cautious about that. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. And if she's doing that, it's not going to hurt her results necessarily. I mean, if she's getting results with it, there's no reason to change it. I just don't know that there's mathematically any basis to say that it's positive or not. I mean, when you need statistical, not surety, I would say statistical assurance with a lot of things, you need a big sample of results. And, a few thousand results from a reseller, probably not big enough to say much about eBay, who does probably tens of millions of transactions a year. I just don't think it probably really means that much. You're looking at short-term results and trying to say that that's what it's going to be for everyone. And you're looking at a small sample and saying that represents everyone. I don't know. But again, no, it's no offense to her. Hey, if it's working for her, keep doing it. There's no reason to change. No reason to try it some any other time. And obviously there's more people in your store. Statistically speaking, you have a better chance of selling something, but I just don't know that you would have enough indications of, I mean, if eBay tells you there's more traffic certain hours, and that for a fact that when you take a listing live that it's going to push to the top of the search rankings, see, that's the part I don't think you know. If you say, I'm going to list my items at 8 p.m. on Saturday night because that's when the most people are online, okay, great. But how do you know that it's going to push your listing to the top of the search rankings and they're going to see it? And by the way, everyone else has access to the same information. So there's no reason they couldn't do the same thing. I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. Anyway, that was a long explanation. I really need to get more clear, concise answers. Zerk Burn says, do you assign a unique inventory number for each item? Yes. A unique inventory item and a location. I would absolutely advocate, Zerk Burn, you do that as well. Never reuse item numbers, in my opinion. It's just no reason to. Numbers are infinite. You don't have to. Rebecca says, wasn't sure. I was sabotaging myself by listing around my work schedule. Thanks for the answer. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to make a lot of difference one way or the other, Rebecca. I really don't. But anyway. Big T, hey, Prof, do you pay attention or try to grow the amount of followers you have on eBay? If you do, how does one build this followers list? I don't pay any attention at all. I mean, there's probably somebody in my audience who could answer that better and has more experience with it. I don't know if people are following me or not, to be honest. But even if they were, I'm trying to think with what I sell, would it matter? I mean, I guess it's possible that I could sell a pair of jeans to somebody and they're following me and I get another pair of jeans and they were happy with it and I get another size and the same wash and fit and they buy it. But I just look at it like as long as my rating is good, my seller rating, I think it's fine. Leisure Picker, it's interesting. Everybody has their own way. My model is more of list and forget it. It's what I've been for years. It works great for me. I see everything long term. Yep. You're right. You're right, Leisure. Everything is long term. You can't look short term in this business. It will drive you nuts. And it will lead you down the wrong path more often than not. I mean, it's like plan long term, act short term. Act today, act now, but plan weeks from now, months from now, years from now. Sure, nothing wrong with that. But you got to act today, because this is all you got is right now. You don't even know what you'll be doing 5 years from now. You have no idea. I mean, I didn't start out selling jeans. So, who knows where you'll be. So, just live today, plan for tomorrow. That's all I would say to someone. So anyway. Yeah, so I've got so Karin, I've been talking about some other things too. I've been thinking about Amazon a lot lately, guys, and I realize I've got a bunch of subscriptions rolling around, and I'm trying to think if I can get rid of some of them. My Amazon business has not been very good lately. I haven't sent a lot of stuff in over the last few weeks, so that's part of the problem. But I'm thinking about ways I can minimize my cost, just packing every dollar I can, use it to build the business in general. And so I've been thinking about trying to think about other items to sell maybe on Amazon. I'm definitely still interested in the book idea. I know there's a lot of people who sell books, and books are not sexy, but man, they are plentiful and available. And there are times I would do it. I don't want to do another big lot. I was watching Rakin's show with a bookseller. I think his guy is named Reezy, and which is a great name, by the way. Reezy Resells, and he's a bookseller, but the guy sold 27,000 books this year to date, which I thought was pretty freaking impressive. He does have a business partner. I don't know if he has an employee too, possibly. So it's not, 27,000 books, $400,000 gross, which is pretty good. And, but it's not all obviously profit out of that. I mean, he's probably paying, I bet he's paying close to $200,000 in fees, storage costs, and so on. But still, I mean, that's really good for books. And books, you can just, fire and forget, send them in and don't worry about them. But he was talking about, I was thinking about my 3,000 books. He was talking about how he got back a bunch of returns or things that he had them shipped back to him because they weren't selling. And he had them ship back 15,000 books. Ooh. And then I thought, 3,000 doesn't seem so bad now. I was thinking, man, 5 times that. That is crazy. That would have filled up my entire garage, basically. So it's all a matter of perception and, what your experience is. But, books are definitely something that you could add, and just, I don't think it's that really hard to be a bookseller. I mean, it's definitely not as hard as clothing. He had a lot of great ideas in that video. I'm not going to post a link to it, but if you look on Rakin's channel, it's one of the last 5 or 6 videos. But it's a good video about selling books and so on, if that's something you're interested in. Obviously, with us spending so much time in thrift stores, books are right there. It would not be hard to add that to it. There's other book opportunities as well. But, I don't know. We're just thinking about some other things too. We're thinking about a couple other categories of items, if you will, because Karin definitely wants to have an eBay store as well. So hers could be a whole different approach. Definitely not jeans. We'll see. But she is actually away this week she's working out of town again. And so I'm going to be on my own, which sucks, but it is what it is. So Turtle says, hello, what's up, Turtle Trader? Zerkburn says, Reezy has 2 employees, 1 full-time, 1 part-time. There you go. So he's got some payroll out of that 400,000 gross. I don't think he's getting rich from it, but I think he's making a decent living. I don't know his personal situation. Just from his video channel and so on, it looks like he has at least one child, maybe a wife or girlfriend. I'm not sure. So, he's got some mouths to feed, but he's doing it. And I like the video he did with Rakin and those guys. It was good. It was worth my time to watch. I try to, hopefully you guys are doing this too. Every day, don't skip a day. Every day, seek to learn something more about reselling, business, mindset, whatever. It could be a video, it could be a podcast, it could be a book you're reading. Seek to learn something every day. Don't skip days. It's very, very important, guys, because when you stop learning, you stop progressing. It's just that simple. So make that a priority. And I do that every day. I at least watch a video. I'll listen to a podcast. I'll read something that's inspirational. It could be motivational. It could be in nature. It could be lots of things. You know, I think that's important to do that. It'll fill you up, and it'll remind you that there's more to this than just the nuts and bolts. There's also the kind of the big view, the overview. Utah says something good. I see what you did there, Utah. That was pretty funny. Bologna sandwiches for you. All right. I'm not sure what that means, but all right. I like it. But yeah, learning every day is important, and I try to do it religiously. I just think it's critical. So don't skip that, guys. Don't look at it like, oh, I got too much to do. I can't learn something today. That's the wrong attitude, in my opinion. I mean, if you look at some of the smartest, most successful people in the world today, they will all say, almost without to a T, that, hey, I read and learn things every day. And then maybe they learn it a different manner. Maybe they watch a video. You know, I mean, there's more ways to learn than just reading, but they do it. So, oh, I see what you said there, Turtle. Without Karin, gotcha. Yeah, I know, right? She's gone. I'm going to eat terrible while she's gone. It's just, I don't know. I just don't eat as well when she's here. I mean, it's not that like, and we make food together a lot of times. It's not like she's cooking. She's the only one doing any cooking, but I don't know. She just keeps me on track. So in more ways than one, I'm sure she would tell you, and she's right. So anyway, 24 people watching, guys. I appreciate that. I actually am going to get off here in a moment, I think, and go finish some listing. So I hope you're going to do the same, or you're going to learn something today, or you're going to work in your business and get better. That's what it's all about. Every day we're trying to get a little bit better. All right, so hey, if you like this video, please hit the like button while you're watching now, or if you're watching this video later, please hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Also, leave me a comment or a little ditty if you want about, you know, whatever maybe struck you about the video, a question or a comment in general. I do try to answer all of them and say something back. And consider subscribing to Prof Sales. That way, you'll always know when the next video is coming out or has come out, and you don't have to go searching for it. So I would appreciate that as well. The channel is still growing. We're up over 1,600 members now, or subscribers. Members, I guess not the right word. Subscribers. So thank you guys for that. Please spread the word about my channel. I do appreciate it. I am trying to help people, and I'm trying to learn as well, because I learn from you guys all the time. All right, so that's going to do it for this day's update in this video. So I hope you guys learned something out of it. I hope the rest of your day goes awesome. And I'll be talking to you soon. All right. So until next time, this is Prof Sales saying good sales to you.